What's happening, guys? How's everybody doing? So I know I haven't posted here for a while, but it's because I kind of came to you guys with a new series now. What I'm going to be doing is, I made a video a while ago, you guys can find it somewhere around here, called How to Calculate Your Macros, which shows everybody how to figure out their macros and their caloric intake and all that. But I never really explained what macros are, what proteins, fats, and carbs and all that are. So I decided to go ahead and make a video on that right now. And yeah, so let's get into that. So before we get into everything about carbs, I thought I'd give you guys some 3 quick facts to get you more familiar with carbs. So carbs, they are one out of the 3 main macronutrients that we have, the other 2 being proteins and fats. And one more thing, so fun fact. And fun fact, 1 gram of carbs equals to 4 calories. So anytime you see the nutrition labels or anything that shows how many calories you have in the entire food, for every gram of carbs in there, 4 calories are coming from the carbs. So if you have 20 grams of carbs in your meal, multiply that by 4, which will give you 80, which would be how many calories from carbs you have in that meal, whatever it is you're eating. Now, the second thing about carbs is they are essentially, not in every case, but essentially they are the sugars, starches, and fibers that are in the foods we eat every single day. So when you see on the nutritional label again, it says starch, not starch, but it says sugars and fibers. No, those are coming here from the carbs. That's where you're getting them from. And this one I thought would just be a fun fact for people. The name carbohydrates, it comes from them containing carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So, moving on from the basics. Similar to proteins and fats, carbs are essential for proper bodily functions. So for you to go about your day, for you to do what you need to do, for you to be able to have energy, your body needs carbs for your body to be able to continue to do what it is you need to do. Now carbs, they must be obtained through food. Must. Through food. Your body cannot make its own carbs. It's whatever you get from outside sources, that's what your body has. Now, your body doesn't necessarily need carbs. You can live without carbs solely off of protein and fats, but that's something that's for a whole nother video that I can get into and explain to you guys later on if you want. And a lot of you guys must be wondering, how many carbs does one person need, or how many should you get through your diet, things like that. If you guys want to figure out how many carbs you should have in your macros for your daily expenditure, you guys can go ahead and check out my video on how to calculate macros, or anybody else's. There's millions of them out on YouTube by now. I'll post a link somewhere around here for my video that I made. For the last part of this, carbs, as I said earlier, they are responsible for fueling the CNS, which, for those of you who don't know, CNS stands for Central Nervous System. So they're responsible for fueling the CNS, which is the Central Nervous System. They can provide quick energy, so if you're ever down on energy, you feel really tired and drained, grab a bag of Sour Patch Kids or a drink or something, something with high carbs. If it has higher carbs, it's a higher chance of it giving you energy or a quicker burst of energy, but you might notice a crash a little bit afterwards, or in some cases, depending on what you ate, you might not have a fast acting carb, so it might not hit you as quickly as you would like. So choose wisely, and if, as I said, earlier. If you guys want, I could make a more in-depth explained version about the different types of carbs and what gives you quick energy, what doesn't, and all that type of stuff. Let me know down below if you guys want that. And lastly, they can highly influence a person's mood, memory, and day-to-day activities. Again, highly. If you guys ever have a friend who's dieting for a show, or just dieting in general, or trying to cut carbs or anything like that, or someone who you're with that you guys haven't eaten for a while, you know they haven't had food in a while, if you see them getting very snappy and cranky, it's because they haven't had carbs. Their body's not used to being on such low carbs, or no carbs for some people at times. And it can make them go from being the happiest person out there to the angriest person out there. It can make them go from real strong to real weak, real energetic to real tired. It'll make them very bipolar, is what I'm trying to say. Their mood will change. 1 minute they're happy, 1 minute they're not. They don't even know why they're like that. It's just with the lack of carbs, the lack of energy in your body doesn't know what to do, or your body doesn't know how to act. And it's not used to having such low carbs yet, so your body tends to go all out of whack. The way it can affect your memory is if you're constantly down, your mood's changing, 1 minute you're happy, 1 minute you're sad, all that type of stuff's happening. How are you going to be able to focus on whatever it was you need to focus on? You won't be able to think clearly. You'll constantly be, you'll catch yourself forgetting a lot of things. You'll catch yourself going in and out a lot. So keep those things in mind when you are dieting or you're cutting carbs or anything. And obviously then the last thing was it'll affect your day-to-day activities. So keep all those things in mind while you guys are dieting. And if you know someone who is dieting or anything, cutting carbs or whatever, cutting calories in general, let them know about this, or just know this in the back of your head. This could be why so-and-so is acting however so-and-so is acting. A quick bonus fact I forgot to mention during the video. This is something that's really good for people who love protein. Carbs, instead of your body using protein for energy, your body goes to the carbs and uses that for energy over the protein. And at the same time, it starts letting your body start metabolizing your fat, in a sense, breaking down the foods in your system. So, just some things to look out for. You know, if you want to save your proteins, eat some carbs. If you feel you're not regularly moving the bowels, you know, throw in some carbs, help yourself metabolize the food, help yourself break it all down, raise the fiber, you know, look at that type of stuff. Anyways, guys, I'm going to catch you in the next one.